It is my honor and privilege to welcome our guest conductor and composer and dear friend and brother to me. I won't go through his entire resume that's in the program, but he's a brilliant person, always was. And when I told him about the next stage of my journey, he sat down and composed a piece for me and for my band. Complete total surprise to me and shock to me. I'm still kind of blown away about it, if you can't tell. But I want to ask you to please join me and let's welcome Mr. Brian James.
Well, good evening. Indulge me for just a moment or two. Some things just have to be said. There's certain parts in your life and occasions in your life that you simply cannot miss. And this is one of them. When Tim mentioned, whenever that was, that he's retiring, I knew I had to be here. I didn't know I was going to compose a piece, but I knew I had to be here just for this occasion. And I'm glad I'm here. I'm humbled. I'm honored and privileged to be at this here at this time, this moment. Tim and I met in 1986 at Western Carolina University. Yes, we are that old. But he is older than I by 3 weeks. And that set off a journey for he and I both as undergrad trumpet majors at Western Carolina. I went to Florida, he stayed here, but that bond, that friendship has never gone away. It's actually gotten stronger. And because of that bond, I was able to sit down for a moment and reflect on the journey that not only I have, but more specifically what Tim has gone through, which is the conception of the piece, A Reflective Journey. Talk about that in just a minute. Tim, we talk in these days in the music world, in the band world, about legacy, ladies and gentlemen, the legacy of a band director. And when Tim retires, his legacy is the thousands and thousands of students that he has taught over a 34-year period. To his days at Westminster, his days here, obviously most of his time in Gaston County, but there are thousands of students, thousands of people out there that Tim has bestowed upon each one of them the gift of music. Some of them may not be playing anymore, but they have the gift of music inside of them because of what this man has provided and afforded them all those years, 34 years. There's some musicians that are band directors now. There's some musicians who are playing in community bands and in other ensembles throughout the United States and in the area. That's your legacy, Tim Hamilton. And I know as difficult as this may be on the retirement and as challenging as the next few months will be, especially when August comes around and I text you because I have to go back to work, you'll reflect on all those students that you have touched their lives. You have made their life better because you have given them the gift of music. And that is a wonderful thing. His legacy is not concluded, however. Tim and I, the WCU gang, if you will, roommates, are on our next venture, and I need to mention to you that Tim will be joining my publishing company, BC Music Publishing, soon, hopefully this fall, and we are going to be publishing his marching band music as well as some of the concert band stuff that ladies and gentlemen, that's a true honor for me to have his creative mind in music, in the marching band world, and eventually in concert band and other genres, to have him on this publishing ticket. And his legacy will continue because his music education heart is going to be passed on to the next generation of students in middle school and high school and perhaps even beyond. So I am grateful and elated that he's offered and accepted the opportunity for us to be together and to once again combine our efforts and publish some music for the next generation. So thank you, Tim. A reflective journey. You can see the cover here. That's the cover. Those folks who are familiar with the campus of Western Carolina University, that is the Carillon Tower right in the center of campus. So, yeah, that's right. Go Cats. So when the conception of the speech, what I had in mind was to musically take Tim through a journey through the 34 years in about 5 minutes, give or take. So the beginning, there's 3 sections to this. The beginning is when Tim started out, everything going well, you get into that mode, the band director mode, and you have all these ideas you want to do, and things are coming along. And of course, there's some bumpy roads there. We all went through them in our first years of teaching. And then you get to this beautiful melodic middle section. Everything's calm, everything's going well. And you're doing well in MPA, and everything's going well with your ensemble, so forth and so on. And then we get to the end, and I don't know, some of you may know, but some of you may not know that Tim in undergrad was a drum major at Western Carolina University. So I thought, perhaps I should reflect upon that. So the ending of this is a la marching band-ish. Okay, so you're going to hear a lot of percussion. You're going to hear the Carillon Tower here on the chimes. So lots of stuff is happening, lots of brass, lots of the woodwind high stuff. So the reflective journey is based upon all of that, which I can come up with for the past 34 years that Tim has been band director. I worked with these wonderful young men and women this morning, and I ran through it with them and conducted a little bit and rehearsed a little bit. So this is not put together because Tim rehearsed it, but this is put together with me. So they are doing a wonderful job understanding how I conduct, because it's not as good as Tim. But I'm working on that. So a reflective journey here. I need to mention that this piece, and they all know this piece will be published later this summer, professionally published later this summer, so they can look it up, they can hear it, they can see their name on the score of South Point High School Symphonic Band. And we're going to present to you, ladies and gentlemen, a reflective journey for Mr. Tim Hamilton.